morning, everyone. Thanks for joining on today's webinar. Today, we are going to see on Twinmotion for Revit 2023.1. Myself, Karthik Ramalingam, working as an AEC application engineer in ImageGrafix. So let me just go on to the product directly. As everyone well known about what is Autodesk Revit, just giving a little introduction about the people who are not aware about this product. See, Autodesk Revit, as you know, that it's a BIM software tool which is mainly for the architecture, structure, and MEP team, where they do provide the concept to detail stage. They will be doing this modeling, drawing, or scheduling. Where do you have other tools for creating your custom build libraries for your models which you need to be using inside the project, and they do also have a default rendering engine or Autodesk rendering engine, and they do provide integration with various softwares in this region for doing the rendering, and provide options for them to collaborate with the other stakeholders, and have the tools for multiple people to work simultaneously, which also has an option to leverage the cloud. So as a product, Autodesk Revit is been sustained in the market, which mainly used for the BIM industry. When it comes to Twinmotion as the hero product for today's webinar, Twinmotion has been a real-time 3D immersive tool which has been mainly useful for the high quality rendering images or panorama images or 360 images, or you can quickly create VR videos, interactive presentations. See, mainly these type of activities when we are doing for Twinmotion, it's very easy to create, and it's a iconic base product where it is not required a special customized training, where you can any users who works on the product can be easily understand that the products which are there available as a high quality libraries, which is quietly have extensive items where you can use of these tools, and they have a direct link with Revit, which helps the users who works on the Revit model can push their file directly into Twinmotion for their high quality rendering. And they also supports the project scaling. Like if you have multiple projects, if you want to work on different say, regions, they have options to do provide renderings for different phasing and presentations, and then do support the one-click VR support. We'll be seeing that extensively in the upcoming slides. So how this collaboration comes when it comes to Revit and Twinmotions. See, as Autodesk has been developed a strategic collaboration with Epic Games. The Epic Games is the developers of the Twinmotion, who they have provided this Twinmotion earlier year also. Their last year in Autodesk University, they made the collaboration with the Revit. So for the users who are already having Revit, the latest version of 2023.1 will now access to Twinmotion for Revit easily. So how this collaboration works. So let us see how we can try to use this Twinmotion for Revit for the existing users who are in the latest versions. See, when it comes to Twinmotion for Revit, earlier people are using Twinmotion where they will be exporting into a file which can be brought into Twinmotion for rendering. But in this latest version, you can directly use this product, especially for Revit users who can install the Twinmotion for Revit from their Autodesk account. If you go on to the your manage.autodesk.com, where you can find the Twinmotion for Revit, when you search in the product and services, you will be finding the Twinmotion for Revit with the button called Access, where you can click on the button, which directly opens a separate page where you will be seeing the details for you to accept the instructions. And once you have done with that, you will be followed by a download link. We'll be showing that in a video shortly. And this is software will be applicable for all the Revit users or the people who are already access to AEC collections. Under AEC collection is nothing but architecture, engineering, and construction collection, where they do also have Revit as a product individual, where they can also use this Twinmotion for Revit. Only thing is they need to be having the latest version of Revit 2023, and not only that, they need to also update to the point one, that is 2023.1, from their service pack, which is available through their desktop app, or from the product updates, which is available under their manage.autodesk.com. see what are the things we need to be taken care for installing this Twinmotion for Revit. If you have any other existing Twinmotion engines, which is plugins installed in the lower versions, I would request you to kindly uninstall before installing this Twinmotion for Revit. And this plugin Twinmotion for Revit is not applicable for the existing Revit LT users, and it does not also include the Twinmotion Cloud under the Twinmotion for Revit, where these are the separate access which need to be used under the Epic account, like the Quixel Megascans, Sketchfab, or Twinmotion Cloud based. All these things you need a separate Epic account. For this Twinmotion for Revit, you can use your existing Autodesk account, but when you want to access the other assets like this one which I mentioned here, you need a separate Epic account to access that. So for how to do this, see when it comes to accessing the model from Twinmotion to from Revit to Twinmotion, how this direct link works. It's like a simple click of a button. You can once you install this Twinmotion for Revit, you can able to open the plugin from their add-ins, where you will be seeing this external tools. Under that, you're seeing there is an option called Twin in Twinmotion. Once you click that, this Twinmotion for Revit is installed. You will be directly open there. Let us see how this integration works. See, when there is a rendering comes, so you will be seeing this type of cloud rendering images. You to see that in the model, you can have the realistic appearance using this Twinmotion for Revit. To access this type of realistic images, you will be installing this Twinmotion for Revit from your Autodesk account. So as I mentioned, you will be going on to manage.autodesk.com using your Autodesk login ID, where you will be seeing the list of products and services available under your Autodesk account. You can search for Twinmotion for Revit, and you will be end up with the product where you can click on the button called Access, which will be redirecting you to a separate link where you can download that Twinmotion for Revit, and you will be guided with the instructions for followed by how to download. So once you click on this, it will be opening up a separate tab where you have the instructions for the OS platforms, what is it supports, or the minimum graphic requirement, all those things. And as I mentioned, this agreements need to be accepted, and you will be end up with the download link. It's around 15.97 GB, where you can download it using this. It's a separate installer. Once you install the Revit 2023.1, this is a separate installer which need to be installed, and it's like a separate default installation, nothing complex. You just unzip it and run the Twinmotion Revit setup. Once you double click on that, it directly opens the installation setup. We just have next and read the details of the license agreement, and then next and install. It's as quick as possible. You don't need complex installation procedures. Once you have done with that, it will ask you for installing the plugin for Revit of the one. If you already installed, you can install that separately also as a plugin. You can just click on this button installed for the plugin which need to be installed for Revit. Once you have done with that, I can open and show you how this process of exporting from Revit works. So we are opening the Revit 2023 a sample project which has the a BIM model of architectural platform. So we will be showing you that how we can export this BIM model into Twinmotion directly using this Twinmotion for Revit. So I'm opening as a default sample architectural project. So first main most thing is we need to going to the 3D view. So for exporting this into Twinmotion, you need to go into any 3D view. Once you're gone in that, you can go for the option under the add-ins, and where you have the open in Twinmotion, or you have export settings, or what is the if you want to export to a separate file as this one, you can also do that. We are showing you side by side how it works. So once you click on this open in Twinmotion, it triggers the Twinmotion for Revit in the background automatically. So it opens the software and asks you what is the project type. If it's an already exported, you can use the existing project. Here I'm using a new project where I'm going to select this a new project, and keeping the other settings like the hierarchy level or the process, everything is same, and clicking on OK. Once you have done, the direct link is established, and you will be seeing the same model what you are seeing in the Revit, which is exported to Twinmotion. So this is how the actual direct integration works. And when it comes to working on this Twinmotion for Revit, you have tools which are available. We'll be seeing that in detail in the next slide. So you have different options for you to work along with the Twinmotion for accessing the libraries and the other details. And when it comes to changes, see, that is where the people are worried about how I can be very easily change it. So if there is a changes comes happening in the Revit model, as you're seeing here, there is a change happened in the Revit model, and it's as simple it is. Just open that plugin and you have a direct link synchronization button which gets sync with the Twinmotion for Revit automatically. So you will be seeing that how seamlessly it has been integrated with Twinmotion for Revit for any type of changes which is need to be happening later. So this helps the users to work along with the model for rendering. They don't want to keep on exporting or working on a different file and end up with large time for taking the rendering time. So this is how the integration works. When it comes to exporting a separate file, that is also possible for you to do that. So we can also do some changes if you want to do it in the Twinmotion for Revit. I will just show you this if you are want to do some major changes, like say for example how we can do some editing. So I will be showing you that also. So once you have changes, if you have existing project, you can open that project of as it has been not synced, it has already been exported into the file and saved as a project. You can open that and also do some changes if you want. So let me show you how we can edit or work around the Twinmotion project once it has been exported to the model. So once you have been open into the Twinmotion, you will be seeing that file here. So let me just show you how it works. So what are the other tools available under the Twinmotion? There are many options available under the Twinmotions, like you can have options to do the orbiting. Like this is not like a complex software where you don't want to spend more time on working on this. You have tools for using the keyboards. You can use the like a gamers use it to have up and down using your keyboard keys like W, ASD, or you have up and down functionalities. All these things can be done using this keyboard setups, or if you have to switch over to some other tools from the settings icon, you can have the option to switch over also. So you can search over which platform you're working, or if you want to hide this navigation tool, you can do that same. Once you have done with that, you have options to save this project, or if you want to create a new project or open an existing project, or if you want to save as into a different project. All these functionalities are available as straightforward. You can do that. Or if you want to import or export, all these default libraries are available. When it comes to the layers, see here we have different options also available. You have the like a viewing area where you have different background environments also available, and I can view the hierarchy level of the model under the uh, viewers, where we have different libraries. We are seeing it here. So you can have the objects, or we'll be seeing that one by one shortly. So you, if you want to go for the hierarchy, you what model you are viewing, like in Navisworks you are seeing it, that is also possible. You can go for full screen, or if you want to turn off layer, or if you want to start the camera view, or if you want to click on a VR, that is also possible. As you mentioned, once you connect to the headset, in a single click it gets automatically shown into your VR headset. And if you want to see for the the layer span, and if you want to see the turn on and off, the functionality can also be done. If you going for the frames, that's also been showing here. And not only that, you have other tools like the system requirements on the other move, pan, orbit. All the options are available at the bottom straight. And if when it comes to working on the model, you can use this access for you to up and down, or if you want to access the same tools in the which is available in the upside, that tools also available from the bottom status bar which you are seeing it now. And this is where you are importing the files. You can import it the files with the plugin which is shown on the Revit for direct exporting. And when it comes to changes, the changes it can be done manually also, as it shows here, where you can reset the transformations or any other details which can be done here. Or if you want to import your file, you can import it by a direct link, or by importing the geometry file. The formats are been available like FBX, SketchUp, Object. So there are different file formats available. And when it comes to your direct link, you can use this plugin. Or when it comes to point cloud, it also supports those file formats. Not only that, once you have imported the file, you can just go for activities like you can work on the paths rendering or exporting. All these things we'll be seeing that one by one, so that you have options to do that, how to export everything. So the first foremost thing when it comes to work on the model, it starts with the material applications. So when it comes to applying the materials or working on the objects, you can select which type of material you will be using it. Say for example, here I'm having a model which is having more on facet related models, so I will be starting with that also. So that first foremost thing is the background you're doing it here. So here you can have the background, so it can be either indoor or outdoor, or it can be also studio. So currently you see a city background, so I want to do a outdoor background where I am going to the outdoor can have different styles. You can see here there are different outdoor backgrounds are available, which is easy, direct drag and drop. Once you have done, you can see that the image has been there, and you can now work on the model by changing the intensity or rotation. You see only the background is changing, not the image. We will be seeing that how to edit the image later. So this type of changes can be done for the background based on the requirement what you're doing it. Once you have done with that, if you want to more work on that background, you can go on to the HDR environments. Or if you want to change on the materials, which I was mentioning earlier, that can also be possible. So when it comes to editing material, we have options, different types of materials available. When it comes to glass, there are different type of glasses like reflective glass or mirror, or two type of glasses. What type of glass you need, you just select it, drag and drop. As you're using the same options, easy for applying, not that much complex. You select it and you see how the view is looks. So you can see change the appearance. It can be two-side glass, or it can be a one-side mirror, or it can be a reflective glass. What type of glass material you choose, you can use that one. Or if you want to change the color of the appearance, or there is any other style you want to choose, opacity. See, these are the easiest way of editing that material inside that model. Not that much complex. It's pretty straightforward. You can turn on and off those settings, and you see that appearance of that material which has been applied to the model realistically. So you can also see that how easy to apply it for all the other models. When it comes not only to the glasses, if you want to apply say any other materials, like you want to apply for the outer walls like a concrete, so that can also be done. So then I'm just showing an example quickly on the concrete also. So let me just show you how it works. See, applying the concrete materials, same, what type of material you are choosing it from the library, you can just select that library. And if you want to just use that particular library, you can just drag and drop that material to that, and their final changes, like you see the pattern. When it comes to concrete, the main thing is the texture. So the texture pattern on those color patterns, if you want to change it, that can also be edited here. So you can see how this works when it comes to the reflections, or if you want to see the scaling, how this texture scaling has been controlled using the slider. And the other settings like bump or glow, metalness, two-sided, all this, see, there are more options. When it comes, you can work and play along with that and change the material as you required. So easy as it is, it goes very smooth. Not only that, when it comes to the surroundings, like your vegetation, vegetation also keeps a play important role. You are already provided the environment of grasses or the bushes. We do also have in Twinmotion different types of landscaping. Where it comes to landscape, it might be bushes or trees or vegetations. You can select from the libraries which you are going to use it. And for applying that, it is as easy it is. You can use the library which type of grass you are using it. There are tools for you to create those vegetation properties like vegetation plants or those things in a much more easier way. So you have options like the paint. We say that what is the paint is here is like a vegetation paint we use. There are different options like paths for vehicles, paint and the vegetation scatter urban. Now we are going to use the vegetation paint here. So when I click on the vegetation paint, it asks you to select what type of material you use land grass or dry grass. So which grass you use, you just drag and drop it, and you will be end up with the globe. See, this is like a paint brush, I can say. You can control the diameter of the globe, and once you have done with that, you can just start working on the paint. Like as you do in your MS Paint, you just start painting on the area wherever you want to fill with your long grass. Once you have done with this, you will be seeing that how realistic the applying the grass over the areas. So you can see that the view of that AM model, I will be showing you in a much more closer view how it looks. So see this, how realistic the appearance of the grasses here once it is done. You can change the density of the grass. You can increase the density, like you want to have more grass, and if you want to have a growth of say 100%, so you can increase or decrease the growth level of the grass as you want, the tinting of the grass level, the color, the dryness, the stripes, or even the wind simulation. See, if you want to see that there is a wind blowing on the grass, it shows the simulation. You can control that also. So there are different options available over here. Not only that, if you still want to do some changes in their items, like if you want to add individually the plants, that can also be done. See, this is a painting which I showed you earlier. So we can also add the individual bushes which we want to add to your model. You can just drag and drop, and you can just keep on adding the bushes as you want. Or if you want to use a paint, that is also possible. So this is easiest way. So the models which you using by a single click, which can be edited individually. When it comes to paint, it is like a group object. When it comes to the individual objects, you can work on them individually. What is their size, or what is the tinting level? See, not only this vegetation, it is works for major all the components, all the objects which are under this Twinmotion. So this is the complete easier, quicker way of doing this. Not only, as I told you, you can also edit by erasing this particular area. Say for example, I drawn this grass, but I look, there is a path in between. I just need to work on there is a area I need to erase it. There are options available for same like erasing. You can use the option to erase that particular area, so that that can be used for some other purpose. So you can work on this same like painting, or if you still don't want to use this, you can just select it in a single click of a button. You can just delete it. So this is how it works. It's much more easier. So for creating any type of the components inside your Twinmotion. So just I'm showing you an example on this. Not only this grasses, we have also other components. We can just work on this like objects. If you take, you have the city or the doors or different items available. Not only that, there are lightings, interior lightings. You have different types of lightings available, which can be applied to the light source which is being given in the BIM model. Based on that, you can have work on that more. I'm not going in detail on those areas. So when it comes to characters, see, people are more interested about the animated characters in the model. So they don't want to see how realistic they can add their models into my project, so they can work on that, how it can be simulated into my model. So you can just drag and drop the animated characters which you want to bring it, and it's as easy it is. Once it is dragged, you have access where you can control the rotation or the revolvement or the origin for the particular model to be doing it. Not only that, they have preset options for you to control what is the color of the dresses what they wear, or if what is the activity they're doing. If currently you see is idle, you can change it to speaking or dancing or some other activity whatever you want. And you can do the different types of animations available in the list, which is much more easier for you to do that. Say there is an interaction with this another person, you want to interact with another person, you can just drag and drop, and you can move, make the movement or the changes as you want along with that. So that is how quickly you can create your animated characters with the different options of creating the pose or spitting or speaking, what type of activity they want to do. So when it comes to individual characters, you have easy to create it. Not only that, you have options to create the group characters where you can bring a large number of groups of people. So you just select which group of people you want to bring into your model, just select it, and you can see that how individually you can edit that model. See, for example, if you're editing them, you can individually change those areas also, not like it changes for group, it is for individual. Also you can just change it, or you can revolve it or move it from that group as you want. You can work on that animated characters. When it comes to rendering, it works as it been what activity you have been doing it, it works as it is. So also, like vehicles, you have different types of vehicles available. So you have vehicles with the different transport, like cars, buses, construction vehicles, trucks. So I'm just showing you quickly about the cars, how it looks. So cars, let's say it says once you drop it, you can rotate it and change the color. See, currently it is showing in white color. I just want to change the color of the car. I can just select the portion and go into my color settings, where you have different types of colors of the car which has been available. Select that and then done. So it shows as a realistic appearance of the car. So this is what the main thing when it comes to setting up the models. As we see different libraries available, you can work and play as you want and use these tools to create that. And when it comes to paths, you have not only that, you have character path, vehicle path, bicycle path. See, these are the paths which just makes the animated characters to go seamlessly. I'm not going more in detail on those areas. So when it comes to rendering settings, you have tools for do that rendering settings also. You can work on those rendering settings. What is the interface you want to keep on, and do activities on lighting or the background. See, when it comes to background, as we see that in the first stage, environment. So this environment settings can be changed based on the backdrop or based on the image what you use. You can change this environment, and what is the white balance or light or ambient. All these settings can be controlled when it comes to location. Location is very, very important. See, currently you're working in a project which is located in some region where you want to see the sunlight of falls onto the model. So when you see the shadow appearance, or you want to see the how it the background looks when it comes for the natural sunlight. So all these things can be done. As I told you, the background image earlier it was in city. I'm just moving that, removing that, making it none, so that the only the background image what you background environment what you said, that is alone will be there. And camera, it's like a focal view. When you take a viewport, you see what is the camera view, right? So you want to adjust the focal view of the camera, you can change that by using adjusting these values. And like visual effects, all these things can be done. So see, there are many options available, so we are not going in detail in depth on all these aspects. So when it comes to exporting, see, exporting rendering settings plays a major role. So what type of exporting can be done? It can be, say, an image or a panorama or a video or a phasing is something but different stages and presentation. All these things can be quickly created. So when it comes to creating image, create image button will create the image of the particular viewport, and later say that there is a changes in my model. No need to worry about that. Whatever the changes you're doing in the model, it's get reflected automatically even when we have created the image. So once you go for the changes, once you have done, you go to this place where you created the image, and just see that there is an option for you to refresh the image what changes you have made. So it automatically get adjusted to the latest update. You don't want to create it again the images. So the once the changes has been done, you can create as much as images you want. If you want to create multiple images, or if you want to create the same image what has been there, you can just use this refresh button, it gets updated as you want. So once I've created the multiple images, I can show you how it can be created, like for panorama the same way, or for video you can go for a video creations and the presentations on those things. And let me just show you how to export this file. See, currently we are been done these type of activities only for doing this image creations, right? So if you want to select multiple images, you can create multiple images and export it. Or if you want to export a single image, that is also possible. And what type of format on images, say it is a JPG or PNG or XCR, what type of image format you need, or what type of refinement, like the value, the image quality, you can just change as much as you want using these options available. Once you have done with this type of settings, you can go for exporting. So if you have created the images, videos, or panoramas, all the details will be available under the options. So once you have done with that, you can just click on the start export. So you will be seeing the folder location where you need to export it, and it calculates the time for computing. Once you have done with that time estimation, it can be exported to a file which is you have been selected. So currently we exported an image. I'm just showing you the image, the rendered image, how it looks. So the appearance wise, there are some more activities which we can do it much more to look more realistic in image. I've just added the animated characters and cars. The some of the white backgrounds are the images, lighting features are differs. When it comes to another options, I can show you this is something which we added more animated characters, and with the vehicle paths or the bicycle path. So there this is something like high quality rendering image which can also be done. Not only that type, these type of images, even the videos. See here the videos shows how the animated cycling or the people who are walking in the site can also be animated and show you a realistic image, realistic video. So this type of realistic rendering can also be done using this Twinmotion for Revit. So this is achievable through this path of vehicle path. So the same way they are doing this animation export. So you select this video and then just select extract export. It will get exported to those type of video renderings. So I think this is what the complete options are available for Twinmotion for Revit. So let me just go on to my some of the examples which are being taken from the Twinmotion. See the model which you're seeing it in the left side. See this is something the real model. When it comes to the rendering one, they are added so much realistic appearance of the vegetations like the trees or the cars or the sunlight. All these backgrounds can also be added. So this type of realistic appearance can be added. These are some of the examples which is being shown from the Twinmotion for Revit. So with that, just winding out from the services, what we are all doing here. We will be having the Q&A at the end. So as a company, we do have provide services. So we do have services like BIM services for the standard Revit implementations, or creating the family libraries, or if you want to have a BIM related projects or the cloud project, if you need a stat hand holding kind of stuffs or family content creations, those service related activities also being taken care from our service department. We do have a design automation team where they do work on the tools and plugins to develop the for softwares like AutoCAD or Revit, and they do all build applications on the Dynamo or Forge or Lisp. And we do provide the implementation services for the cloud products, which are, as I told you, the BIM 360 and the ACC platform. We do have provide custom implementation services to a specific company on their existing workflows, or if you want to create a project templates, or they have a forms which are in Excel, Word, or in papers, or those things, if you want to convert them into a digitized format, we will be doing the hand holding kind of stuffs and do a custom training for them to how to they convert those existing forms into digital forms. And we do have provide the user training or the admin training for the users different levels. And we do have provide custom integrations for the requirements if they want to integrate with their existing ERPs or the platform which they are using in their company. And as the aggregations, we are proud to say that in this region, we are aggregated with the orders as the services and get the positive review and feedback from the customers on the major related products. Like we do provide the service skills for consulting implementation. We aggregated with the project management skills. And not only that, we do have service on process aggregations like the QA/QC or document management for coordinations, and also for the products, like as I mentioned earlier, the products which are called docs, design, build, and Revit. Even for manufacturing, Vault, Inventor, all these products we got the accreditation from Autodesk, and we do provide delivery to the customers and get the positive feedbacks.